The turbo kit has arrived. The IS Turbo, that's it. The turbo kit has finally arrived. It's nice because it took its time and kept us waiting. However, it didn't arrive exactly as you saw. That means I've already made a few small modifications, especially to the turbo. As you might guess, the turbo didn't arrive like this, so I did that myself. I'll try to show you a bit more in the light if I can figure out how to grab it. Damn, it's heavy. Here's my turbo. So let me explain a bit here. Where I bought it, how much I paid for it, and everything that's inside. It's a kit I bought from Source Performance. Source Performance. I'm not exactly sure how to say it. It's English, apparently. This guy is really well known in the Lexus turbo world, just to give you an idea. When you go on Lexus IS turbo forums and there are guys with questions, 90% of the time he's the one answering or it's other people responding. They tag him, so I think he's basically a Bible about the IS200 turbo. I really studied the topic between Polish kits and kits from well-known stores, let's say, that also make superchargers. Honestly, I preferred giving my money to a guy with a nice garage who only works on IS200 turbo. Instead of the Polish guys who barely replied, it was awful because I found a great, affordable turbo kit, but they only answered every 3 months. I messaged them again a month ago and still haven't heard back. For Injectors, it's frustrating. They have no website, no Facebook page, and never respond. Anyway, so I chose this guy because he was really everywhere. So I'll show you what's in the kit. So in the kit, obviously, there's this nice little turbo manifold, which honestly isn't bad at all. I expected much worse. But seeing the welds and shape, it's actually pretty good. The only surprise is the turbo facing the wrong way. Like I was saying, I kind of went for a little something fun because, as I told you, I wanted an engine bay with a bit of a 90s vibe. It's a bit of fun and all, so I just went for it. A bit like the valve cover, actually, the sky, with a bit of purple, black, and some glitter. Anyway, so I put it back together like this, just temporarily. I don't even remember which way it was facing. What surprises me a bit is that I specifically asked if it was an internal wastegate, and the guy told me yes. I think there was a misunderstanding with the translators. Because bang, it's not an internal wastegate. It's a big external wastegate. So I'm almost sure I don't even need to check. But this TL, which comes with the turbo kit, is totally a Chinese replica. Most of the time, it can work. It can function. In the worst case, you have to make it more reliable. But what I preferred to do is just change it directly. I won't use it since it controls your boost, and I don't want it to stay closed. So Dealapart contacted me and is going to send me a Go Fast Bits. I think it's Ovid Ultimate Making, who talks a lot about this brand for fuel pressure regulators and wastegates. I trust him. If he approves, it's done. I'm excited for it. For now, it stays put until I get the Dealapart to swap them. He told me it's a Chinese turbo. I'm not going to name them, but that's what it is. However, I made sure to completely grind off the marking here on the turbo with a grinder to cover it up and repaint it, because I absolutely didn't want that written on it. It's definitely a Chinese turbo. That's all for the turbo. Then, there's also the downpipe. From what I understand, though, he's already welded the internal wastegate, blocked it, and everything. Anyway, we'll see when we install it. Here we have the kind of elbow, as you might call it, which fits directly onto the turbo and goes to a V-band. Why? Because the downpipe, on the other hand, is included, and that's great. So we have the downpipe with an oxygen sensor port. Normally there are 2 of them. I'll show you how to connect both of them so that you only have one. A braided flex pipe, which is a very good idea for vibrations, is compatible with the original exhaust system. That's cool. I haven't unpacked everything. There's still a lot in the turbo kit box. Here I have the filter. Apparently it looks like a K and N, and I have some hoses. There's a lot of stuff. That must be the fuel line, the oil line, sorry. It looks like a K and N. I'll let you know anyway. I didn't realize there were spark plugs. What did he use? BKR 7E. That's awesome. I didn't know the kit included spark plugs. You see, I'm discovering this just like you. It's perfect. I just swapped it out. Well, perfect. We'll use this one. It's even better. So yeah, it's really a complete kit, but you don't really have to use everything. A small intercooler is used, and you choose its size based on pressure. Since I won't boost much, this one works for me. We have the intake manifold, we have different types of pipes for the intercooler, for the piping, we have the hoses, and we have a turbo pressure gauge. Well, there it is, it's here. At least it's here. The turbo sock wasn't included. I bought it myself. It's a Chinese one, so we'll be able to test it and see if it's good or not. Here we have the wastegate, so here's my wastegate pipe. This is going to be interesting because it goes over the manifold and drops straight down. So we'll be running an external wastegate. Here we have the whole section. Fuel return, it's very important. You need to create a fuel return because originally these engines don't have a fuel return. We'll need to create that. There's a manual inside. I'll check how it's done. It doesn't seem complicated. The fuel pressure regulator and everything needed are included. Inside, there will be everything that's part of the kit. Actually, a lot of parts, fittings, connectors, and all that. So we'll unpack it as we go. And I'll finish up. On the injector part, which I had also put on hold, I hadn't reinstalled my fuel rail because I had a question about the injectors. Do you remember? We looked at it together. I can't remember if I mentioned it in the previous video, but in the end, the injectors weren't Chinese. They were actually Denso. I scrubbed off all the grime to check, and they really were Denso. I checked them. I put them through 2 hours on the test bench, well, in the ultrasonic cleaner. I checked them again with the machine, and they were all perfect, so my mistake. In the previous video, when I said they were Chinese, they're not Chinese. But that still wasn't enough to supply the turbo properly. So I got a tip. We're going to share it, a tip that seems plausible. These are my old injectors. Well, these are the original injectors from the IS200, and these are the original injectors from the 1JZ from my 1JZ. So I cleaned them, used ultrasound, tested them, they're all good. Here I have the new seals and everything to put them on. I just need to adapt the connectors, since the connectors are not the same. I bought 6 1JZ connectors to solder onto my 1GFE's original harness. So I'm happy because I just saved 6 injectors. Usually they're 400, 420, or 430 cc. I think it should work for my setup, but we'll see. If they're restricted, it's easy to change, since the fuel rail is on top of the engine and can be swapped quickly. That was a detailed overview of the turbo kit. Now, let's start the installation. All right, everything's good now and the injectors are ready. Honestly, I could have replaced those little filters, those tiny parts there. I just don't know how to do it and don't want to mess them up. They're really white and the L300 bath cleaned them well last time, so you can see inside. You don't need to change the little black rings on these injectors, since this isn't the same system. That applied to the previous Denso injectors. So now it's good, they're ready. We're going to reinstall them. Come on, let's put the rail back. The rail. I almost considered repainting it because it's a shame that the whole top of my engine looks perfect and only this part doesn't look very nice. But, well, I don't have many options. I won't be able to repaint it. We're going to grease the seals, of course, before inserting them. Always very important. And then maybe we'll also study a bit for the connectors and the fuel return. There we go, it's done. My fuel rail is installed, it's tightened. So I haven't put the fuel pressure regulator back yet because we're going to do the fuel return. I'll move on to the wiring harness. I don't want to film this since there's nothing interesting and I'll just be sitting quietly in the office. I'm going to solder the new connectors for the 1JZ injectors onto the 1GFE harness. It's 2 hours later and it's done, it's finished. All the connectors for the 1JZ injectors are soldered with their little heat shrink tubing and their little electrical tape, as you can see. I went a bit off track and did the whole visible part of the harness on top of the engine. I rewrapped it, made it look nicer, let's say, because I couldn't stand seeing it like that anymore. It's temporary. I think in the coming days, I'll keep working my way down. And over there too, that's on top of the engine. And I really wanted it to be good, nice, so the old mess would be gone. It's true that the placement of the engine harness isn't very nice to begin with. Normally, you have the air box. I'll show you that next. There you go. Sorry about the wind. I didn't bring the windscreen, but normally, you see the harness there. It's hidden by the original air box, so you don't see it. Now it looks better. If you're making a nice engine cover, you should have a nice harness too. If I need to fix a few spots, I'll do it again, but at least that's finished. So, Next step, I think we're going to turn the engine over and take care of it. I don't know, I'm a bit lost. I don't even really know where to start. There. I think I'll start by drilling the oil pan to make the oil return and take care of the oil feed as well. But why don't we just install the turbo as well? Maybe that would make things clearer. We're taking a little break from installing the turbo kit to bring the AIS into the garage to do a chassis checkup, so Thebo can take the decatted stainless steel manifolds and install them in his Lexus. All right, first time after, I don't know, 2 years that it's been here at my place. Soon I'm going to see the underside. I hope I won't have any surprises. Yeah, it looks pretty decent, all right? Let's check it out. Well, the exhaust line is a bit corroded, but nothing serious. The arms here, barely corroded. But again, nothing serious, that's not a big deal. There's a little bit of surface rust here and there, a bit on the subframe. Nothing really serious. The differential's leaking badly, but it's fine, since we have the new limited slip at home. Here, we're good, the rocker panels and everything else. It looks okay. So as for the drive shaft, it's fine. The chassis overall is okay. The control arms are a little worn. Maybe we could remove, sand, and repaint them. But honestly, it's fine. I'm happy. Yeah, that's it. I'm lucky. He's jealous. It's cool. There's a minor power steering fluid leak, but overall, I'm happy. Back in the engine room, that's it. Now we can finally get started on the main topic. Installing the turbo kit, installing the parts. Now that we've checked the wagon and confirmed it can handle the engine, I'm reassured. I'd never seen the underside before, especially with the turbo kit. I don't know if you talked about it. I think I mentioned it. There's a Chinese wastegate, and that's a no-go. I'm telling you right now. It's out of the question because if it gets stuck closed, my turbo will hit 8,000 bars and blow everything up. Thanks, unboxing of the wastegate. On the engine, then, a little sticker, a little manual with the different possible installations. Perfect. I love it, I like it. So we have the 2 little adapters for the air hoses, of course. There we go, here's my new little wastegate. Oh, it's quality, right? Oh, yes, I can confirm, it's quality. It has nothing to do with the type of Chinese item I got. I just hope I didn't make a mistake and that this is really the 38mm I need. I'm gonna put it in place right away. Let's get rid of this crappy thing. Always be careful when you buy wastegate. Because here, you see, it still says made in United States of America and all, but you don't really know. Yeah, look here. The finish is actually pretty bad. It's still much higher quality on the Go Fast bits. This goes away, so I don't need that. It's the other side of the V-band, but it's already on the manifold, so... Okay, that's good, that's fine. It was the 38. Let's put the clamp back on. I've attached it temporarily. We'll see about the orientation later. I'll check if the screamer pipe is compatible. Same. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is take off the covers so we can drill and weld the little thing on. That's where you'll see to put the turbo oil return line. And then we'll start installing the manifold, so we'll need to turn it. Usually there shouldn't be much fluid remaining. A bit of a mess. Oh, well, there's still a lot of stuff leaking. Great, come on. There's still a lot leaking from the engine. I'll use a big container to make it easier. Okay, let's switch to the front camera, remove the screws, and take off the 2 brackets to make more room. We'll clean the cover too, since it doesn't look good and we didn't clean it well before. All the screws are removed. Now we can start trying. You see, it's really stuck on, so we'll take a small flathead screwdriver and gently start to lift it. The Toyota gasket is tough and needs to be cut with a utility knife. This will make it a bit safer. So, sorry about the background noise. I turned on the fan because it's starting to get way too hot in here. There we go, it should be fine now. Phew. We've made it. Everything's here. The connecting rods and spark plugs. Big cleaning of the oil pan now. You won't have much, but the oil pan is all clean, brand new. So now the goal will be to drill it before I do anything else. It's going to be around there, the highest point possible, so I'll mark it, drill it, and weld on the adapter. I put the oil return roughly where I wanted it. I'm going to make my first small hole from the inside, and then I'll move to the outside. Perfect. So from the outside, we make the big hole. Now, there you go, it's finished. The oil return is in place and looks shiny after painting over the weld. It's installed, positioned correctly, and works perfectly. So I'll think about it, but I think normally it's good. I can just put the oil pan back on. I'll skip the steps where I clean up. So the sealing surface on the engine, applying the gasket maker and all that, it's good. We know how to do that. So I'll do it calmly and get back to you for the next step. Now that I've put the engine upright again, it's good. The oil pan part is done. The oil return is finished. I think I'm going to do a test fit of the turbo, but I don't have the new exhaust gaskets. I gave Thibaut my old ones for his Lexus, or at least the ones I was meant to. I'll get it tomorrow, but I'm still going to do a test fit to install the oil feed, the turbo, the oil return, and see how it looks. So, if it peels, repainting is pointless. 3 nuts will be plenty. My turbo's installed now. I'm going to connect the oil line, and we'll also take the opportunity to reinstall the turbo at the right angle. Connect the piping and air hose to the wastegate at the correct angle. I can't recall the current angle or which side the screamer pipe attaches to. Most importantly, I'll start on the oil feed to get it done. Subtitling ST501. Subtitling 501. Subtitling scene 501. Subtitling. With the turbo installed, I'll now point it downward. Normally, that's where it should stay. If needed, I can always reorient it. There's no issue with the boost. Everything will be managed by the wastegate provided by Dynaparts, the Go Fast bits, which will control my boost so it manages my boost. I'm going to connect this little hose to it. The spring inside is from IPSI, weighing 689 grams, which gives me the exact pressure I need, but it must be connected this way. I'll set it at 180 degrees. So it will be positioned like this, and if I'm not mistaken, the screamer pipe should be like this. We'll have to find the right position so that it doesn't touch anything at all. The screamer pipe is pretty good. The wastegate is pretty good. We're going to put the small vacuum hose on, and normally we should be good. It's so satisfying, this part, where you put everything together like this. Well, for now, I'm going to use the clamps that come with it, but eventually I'll put on some slightly better clamps, because it's not that I don't trust these clamps, but perfect. Now, you have to leave it exposed to the air. In the Go Fast Bits manual, they recommend either putting this with a small hose that goes downward or something like that. I know there are small nets with filters like this. I'll check later. For now, I'll leave it as is and won't use Loctite in case I need to take it apart. I might change that eventually, but for now, the placement seems good. Same here, though it's still a bit close to the manifold. So obviously I'm going to put some heat protection around it, because I don't like it. We can't leave it like this. This is temporary, it's coming off. But anyway, everything I've screwed in, that's permanent. I think I can lock my Westgate, so I'll do that anyway. Same thing, that's not permanent. If needed, we can move it again. Accessibility is great, since I can always access everything, unlike the Chaser, where the Westgate is much lower. Here, everything is accessible whenever and however you want. I'll give you a little feedback on this Westgate too, but, well, given what Ovid said, I don't think there's any problem. Looks good to me. The turbo's connected, Westgate is fine, and here's how the screamer pipe at the back looks. It doesn't touch the manifold, it doesn't touch the turbo. It won't touch. So here, wait, there you go, it won't touch either. And then, it goes down along the side of the block, same thing. If something gets in the way, we can always adjust it, but at least that's done. Did I maybe go a little overboard? When it comes to the engine details, yeah, that's possible actually. Here's where the engine is at right now, so the left side of the turbo. Normally everything's good except for putting the gaskets on the manifold, but we'll do that later. That's not urgent at all. I started putting my lower cover back on, which I took the time to repaint black so it looks cleaner. But above all, I even went as far as painting this kind of detail, like the variable valve timing solenoid, there you go. It's messy here since the connector goes on top, but I just wanted to add a small touch. Blue here to match the turbo and the valve cover, because the cover that's here, I didn't want it black since I already had this and that in black, so it's over there drying in purple, so now I have to wait until tomorrow to put it back on. So that means there will be some purple here, a touch of blue, purple, blue, blue. I know, I totally went off the rails. But I don't know, I just love it. I'm just a little bit frustrated about that injection rail over there. It bothers me, but well, there's a world where I could motivate myself to take it apart and redo it, but it bothers me. Well, it's okay though. It's not disgusting either, let's say. But the engine is starting to look great. Honestly, I'm really happy. That's it for me today. Today I'm heading home. I'll return in 2 days to continue installing parts like the alternator and throttle body. Usually we're close to the truth. Oh right, off camera. I installed the oil return line, so that's done. The oil return is there, it's connected, it's tightened. Everything is working at that level. See you tomorrow. We'll meet again the next day. We're almost going to finish the engine, that's it. I have an incredible camera operator who's going to join me. United driver. So today, she'll be filming me to finish the steps of this young little engine. So, what are we going to do? We're simply going to put the throttle body back on like this. At least that's done. That's taken care of. Install the new fuel pressure regulator to enable a return line. But I think we'll do that when the engine is in the car. That way I can properly fit the hoses and everything. But for now, I'll just install the regulator. What else did I write down? Regulator, throttle body, coils. We'll see if we have time to install the wiring harness. Or maybe do it off camera since it's not very exciting. And we'll put the engine covers back on now that they're dry, so the cover's purple. I can take it off again in the future. I don't know if I'll clear coat it now or not. The issue is with the clear coat spray cans. They must be used quickly after activation and only last 48 hours. So for now, I'm reinstalling it as is. And if Thebo or I buy a can of clear coat, I'll give it another coat. And I'm also going to add a little sticker here to make it look a bit nicer. For now, this will be fine. Hey, still, thanks. What do you think? You? It's awesome. Look, purple, blue, blue, purple. It's really cool. For a first time, the engine is just how I wanted it. In the end, you see, I think I did the right thing by painting this black and not blue or something, and this too, at least this way. You see, it doesn't look over the top, it's not too multicolored, it doesn't look like a clown, you know? I think it just needs more glitter. There's some here and on the turbo, but not enough. Still, it's already good, Jay. Honestly, it's plenty. It may not show much on camera, but it will be obvious in sunlight. But right now, it's already good. See, I think it was a good idea not to paint the bottom too, right? So we're going to work on the regulator. So this is my new fuel pressure regulator. So let's see how it works. Removing the old one, it's just air, I know. It happens to me too. Install the FPR adapter and copper gasket. That must be it. Okay, it's like a gasket. Come on, let's do this. It'll work now. There we go. Normally that's good. A gasket here, a gasket there, and we put the adapter on. So with this, we'll be able to create a fuel return. There we go. Normally it should be nice and sealed now. Step 3, insert the regulator. So it'll go in like this. Then we lock it with this plate and 2 screws. It's easy, so I'll add some grease here. So, locking it in place, you can see it's marked, so now we have pressure. 3.5 bar, it's marked here. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but it's set to 3.5 bar. I'm not locking it yet since this lets me adjust the position. Where does the return line go? You close it once it's set in the car, especially because I still don't know which way my fuel line will go. And above all, we'll stop here, because the next steps will actually involve the kind of cylinder we have in the Lexus's tank. The Lexus is outside in the blazing sun, and there's no way I'll take it apart out there. I'd die. However, normally, next week, we'll bring it into the garage, and I'll be able to work inside in the shade calmly. So I think I'm going to prepare the cylinder so it's the same. I have to remove it, I have to drill, I have to add an adapter. We'll do that next week. And of course, the return hose, we'll do that once the car is in place. I think so, yes. We have the hose that's provided. We have everything that's provided. Actually, that's it. We'll have to add all that to the cylinder. I didn't fully understand how it works, but the clear instructions make that okay. Next step. Luckily, the gasket left a mark since I have no idea how this fits now. Wow, there's a big gap here. Do you see a problem? Yes, I have a little problem, yes. No, but wait, I really don't know anymore. No, oh, it doesn't fit. Turn it the other way like this. Yes, it's weird. No, it doesn't fit the other way. What do you mean like this? No, it doesn't fit. I think you can't actually make a mistake. Chloe, you can make a mistake. Guess I'll have to watch the video in reverse. Wait, this is stuck against the seal. So I'll put it on. The seal goes like this. There we go. Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's because... Okay, it's good. I got it. There. Snap and snap. There. It wasn't complicated. So now, the papillonis, it's not like you put it and it doesn't remember anything anymore. Papillonis, great, the butterfly's back on. Now we'll slowly put the coils back in. So we're cleaning them. My generous assistant is cleaning the coils. I cleaned the little screws. We're putting everything back together. We're giving you some little cinematic shots. We'll get back to you when everything is assembled the same way. I installed the Vila and Pompau pulleys. Put everything back together and we'll update you when it's finished. Well, that's it. It's done. I installed 2 out of 3 belts, but I'm missing one because I don't have it. I have the roller that goes there, but I don't have the axle to adjust it, to hold it in place. Basically, it was left behind. Well, I didn't get it. With this engine, it's on the other one and hard to reach. So I'll get it when we remove the other engine from the station wagon. Everything else is fine. The alternator is in place, belts are tight, and all is okay. I put the gearbox mounts back on that I had removed from the side. That's all good. The engine cover here is fine. Well, everything's good now. Oh yeah, I also bypassed. Let me show you anyway, in case anyone's interested. The butterfly heater, we clearly don't need it in our region, so I took the hoses that were here. I put a hose on, though you can just use plugs directly to avoid putting a hose like this. But I used the hose because it was easier. I had it on hand, I didn't have any plugs. It works perfectly well, so no more butterfly heater, it's completely useless. Where I live, it's 40 degrees in the winter, it barely gets to 0. Maybe -2, -3 at most. Next, we'll reinstall the wiring harness and start modifying the car, as a few small changes are needed. We'll put the harness on later. I see the connectors, but I don't want to deal with them now. There are more important things. We'll bring the car into the garage since I have things to do in it. Currently, the downpipe has 1 lambda sensor port, but originally there were 2. We'll modify the car to connect both lambda sensors into one without engine control unit errors. First, we'll bring the car into the garage. and I'll handle the modification. And also, now we're going to look at the management side of things. What am I going to do? Should I strip everything and install an EQ Master Department of Transportation 3, or should I use the fuel cut defender that's included in the kit? It's a bit borderline, so air-fuel ratio management won't be optimal. We also can't program anything. The car and engine will handle it entirely. Should I choose a fully programmable system? I doubt it. We'll probably just use the EQ Master 3. Let's bring the car into the garage and start on the electronics. We'll catch up soon. A few days later, we're back in the garage. JMT. We're bringing the car into the garage again to start working on the electronics. Currently, as you can see, it still has its old engine, which we've already stripped down. We've already removed the stainless steel manifold to give it to Thebo's Lexus. Damn, I keep tripping over my words today because I won't need it anymore. We've used quite a few parts from the engine, we've already stripped it down a lot, but it's not over yet. Anyway, with Thebo, we saw that he wants to take it out and maybe fix it to have a spare. The engine control unit is underneath there. That's really cool. It's much easier to access here than in my Chaser, where it's under the dashboard and complicated. Here, just three 10mm bolts let you reach the engine control unit. I'm getting my diagram to help us figure this out. Here's my engine control unit and my diagram. I'm not sure if you can see it well, but I just need to do a few small cable bypasses, so I'll follow that. It's simple. Just cut and connect the cables to sync the two lambda sensors into one. It's done, so nothing too difficult, really. You just have to make sure you understand the right connectors and the right wires, so the two are connected together. Now it's good, I only have one lambda sensor on the car. Of course, I'm going to insulate it. I'll put some small pieces of heat shrink tubing to insulate it, just in case, you never know. I'm reconnecting everything, closing it up, and we're good. I think we've made quite a bit of progress in this episode. For me, it's done now. I'll finish assembling a few small things on the engine, but I won't show you that on video because it's really not interesting. Replacing a pulley and installing the last belt isn't very exciting. Next episode, we'll remove this engine and install the new turbo engine. For me, that's in 2 days. For you, it's however long it takes to finish and edit the video. Most importantly, in the next video, the car will have the new engine and will start.